And speaking of path, I mean, let's talk self-improvement. Now, this is part 1 of 2. We'll do the next one, the other half next week. But we've always said from day one that we are a self-improvement company with a compensation plan attached. So when we talk about self-improvement, I truly believe that if you're not improving, you're dying. If you're not taking step forward, you're going backwards. So life keeps moving forward. If you're not moving forward, I can assure you, you're falling behind. So I look at it is a personal journey, and that's really what it is. But it's about the continuous growth, the learning, and developing yourself personally, professionally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever checks that box. The first one is really just taking an observation. The first step is really take the time. Look at where you're at, where you want to improve, in all areas of your life, career, relationship, health, personal skill, emotional well-being. Understand what you're good at, where your strengths are, and where you need work. So first is, yes, we can go ahead and kid someone else and try to be someone else and wear a mask in front of other people. But this is about taking the mask off, looking in the mirror, and taking an evaluation, taking inventory of where you're at. That's really step 1. Step 2 is just be specific on goals. And we've talked about this, and I usually save, goal setting for the end of the year, going into the new year, because people traditionally want to set goals in the beginning of the year. But these goals have to be specific. That you don't want to just be very broad. You want to be specific and have clear objectives. It gives you direction, and it also can really be your why, your sense of purpose. Why do we do what we do? And ultimately, most people will realize it's not about the money. It's what the money can do for you. So when you have your evaluation, you take inventory, now it's okay. Let's set some goals. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I want to accomplish. Put together the plan. And most successful people do work off an action plan, whether it's on a daily basis, a weekly basis. I'm more of old school where I write down lists, and I like to do the check mark. That's what I'm doing today, what I'm doing I like to have that, cross it out when I accomplish that task and put a check mark next to it. But it makes the process less overwhelming and more achievable, creating that action plan. And continuous learning. We always say, commit to that. You're always positive in, positive out. So you're feeding yourself, you're reading books, taking courses, attending works. You're really looking for new experiences. Learning not only broadens your knowledge, but also keeps your mind engaged, keeps you adaptable. I think most successful people are always stretching and looking to learn more in something, in one area of their life, in 2 areas of their life. It's a process, and you're learning. If you're not, you're always going to be learning. That's the fun. Learn something new. Can be exciting. Time management. I mean, let's be realistic. That's what this is all about. Everything is all about time management, but sometimes I find myself doing activities that are not the best use of my time. It's wasting time, and I have to really prioritize. And again, I use a check mark system. I'm very structured on what I do day to day. And when I have a task, I actually have this little timer here that I use to set a time. If I want to work on a task for 15 minutes, I'll set it for 15 minutes. And everything is outside of this world. I am focused on something specific for 15 minutes. When the timer goes off, I'm either taking a break, taking a breath, and I go right back in it, and I'm setting it for another time. So I'm very specific on time management. on a daily basis. And I just think productivity enhances with effective time management. I love healthy habits, physical and mental well-being. And that just means, it's same thing, positive in, positive out. But if you're nourishing the mind, body, and soul, you're doing something to get your heart rate up, you're getting enough sleep, you're practicing mindfulness, meditation may not be your gig, that's okay. But these things have been known to work to reduce stress and improve focus. Very important. And I'm a big proponent of, doing the next right thing with the mind, body, spirit, exercise, eating right, getting enough sleep. I prioritize sleep. It's very important. It makes a difference for me the very next day. So healthy habits certainly can go a long way. And we've talked about PMA, right? Positive mental attitude, positive mindset cultivates, it spills over. And for me, when I wake up, I'm not looking at, okay, rainbows and sunshine. I have to work on having that positive attitude and that mindset. It's not my first go-to when I wake up in the morning. I do the things that create a positive mindset, and I'm not afraid of making mistakes or failing. Some people are so scared of failing that they don't even try something. It does build character. It develops resilience. Practice gratitude, be very thankful, and it can really improve the outlook on your life. So positive mindset is so, so important. And you've heard all this before. It's nothing new that I'm kind of regurgitating here today, but I always want to make it a point that these meetings that we spend 30 minutes together, that we get something. You grab a nugget, take what you like, consider the rest, but take what we have and maybe take a gem for today and apply it to what you're doing. We talked about self-improvement and the benefits of working on self, right? Personal journey. It involves continuous growth, learning, development. We're all on a journey, right? It's, self-improvement. And we've touted this company as a self-improvement company with a compensation plan attached. The reality is personal growth will spill over into business, and business growth can spill over into personal growth. But I always say it starts with me. It starts with the personal journey. We talked about self-reflection, setting goals, create a plan, just continuously feeding the mind, body, and soul with information, good information, knowing how to manage your time, healthy habits, and positive mindset. Good starting point. Part of that step 2 is, seeking feedback, encourage the feedback, have your mentors, peers, and friends, someone that can really look and give you some insight on being able to fix and refine areas that you might need improvement. It is constructive criticism. I don't even know if, criticism, some people can't take that word, but it's okay. Constructive criticism, be open to it, because it can certainly get you, if you're off of your target, it can put you right back on target. So always have somebody in your inner circle being able to give you some feedback, because sometimes you don't see it in yourself. If you're really focusing on the day-to-day, sometimes you don't have that 30,000-foot view. Sometimes it takes somebody else kind of looking in and seeing some changes, some tweaks. And if anybody who's experienced any type of personal growth, let's be realistic, you have to get out of your comfort zone. It happens outside the comfort zone. When you challenge yourself by taking on new tasks, a new frontier, learning new skills, facing fears, face everything and rise. is what fear can stand for. Step out of your comfort zone, and growth is uncomfortable. You know, I've seen it with other people. It's sometimes a challenge getting through that personal growth. It's uncomfortable. Nope. You know, everybody wants, most people, not everybody, but likes the comfort of the same old, doing the same thing every day. As a broker, every day is different. There's new challenges every single day. So step out of your comfort zone. You're going to see the growth really pile up quickly. And then practice consistency. It's the key to progress. It's a daily habit, working on your goals, even if it's in small increments. And sometimes it's just daily tasks. And I like the to-do list where I check off, scratch off, and I'm just going down that list. But that list is what's getting me to that next level performance. And consistency is key. Also, interpersonal, effective communication. We're in business because we are in the people business, but it is essential for personal and professional growth is just be a good listener. And I can swear to you, sometimes I like to hear myself talk, and how rude sometimes where somebody's asking a question. Now, I've been doing this long enough. I know what the question is and I know what the answer is. And before the person that I'm talking to even gets it out of their mouth, I'm stepping all over them and spewing out all the information that I know. And it is so rude and discourteous. So I have to become a good listener and hear people out. And I do that here in my personal life too. It's very important when you have a spouse, a partner. Listening becomes important, because if you're not listening, it's not a good look and it's not good for the relationship. So being an active listener, being a good listener is so important to personal growth. The more you know, the more you know. And sometimes I have to pause when I hear the question and I know the answer because I'm so smart, is pause. You know what? That's a good question. And then I'll go ahead and respond. Hear the person out. Embrace failure. And I try to teach this to, my granddaughter, where, everybody's looking for perfection and not making mistakes. But let's be realistic. It's part of where we are today is because we've hit a brick wall more than once. Failure is part of the process. It's part of the self-improvement process. It's analyze what went wrong, learn from it, and use it to do better next time, right? Can't be afraid of failure. It's part of the self-improvement process. Some people are afraid to make mistakes, and that hampers growth. Part of just living life is making mistakes. We have to just be aware that it's part of the process, and don't try to label it. I don't even know if I like the word failure, but you're going to have challenges. You're going to have roadblocks. Overcoming those, learning from them, makes you better for the next time around. Embrace that and celebrate. Go ahead.
Yeah, famous author I read a long time ago, Og Mandino. I don't know if anybody ever heard of him, but a line that really sticks in my head: you have to fail often to succeed only once. That stuck with me from 30 or 40 years ago.
Well, we all heard of the KFC, right? The KFC, Colonel Sanders, getting his recipe shot down, I don't know, hundreds of times before he got the one yes. But celebrate when you have that success, acknowledge and celebrate your achievements along the way. I think that's important, recognizing progress, because it gives you a shot in the arm for motivation. It reinforces your commitment to self-improvement. It's okay. It's not conceited. It's not selfish. Celebrate the progress and move on. But it's okay. And it's nice when somebody else recognizes it too. Don't count on that. Count on your own self, your own feeling of, hey, pat yourself on the back. It's okay. Adapt and adjust. Your goals might change over time. Just be open to change. Changing the plan, changing the goals to gain new insights and experience. That's part of, I say, observation, knowing where you are. But just be open to change. Thank goodness in the 18 years Larry and I have been in business, we've been open to change. And sometimes the people around us were resistant, didn't like it, chastised us for it. But there's a lot of times where we had to make that change to adjust our goal, to put things in perspective and move forward. So and I always say, if you're not changing, I don't want to sound dramatic, but you're dying. If you're not changing, you're not evolving, you're going the other way. But adapt and adjust. What I like is always, no matter where you are, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially, giving back, helping others can certainly be very rewarding. And volunteering and mentoring someone can enhance personal growth. And there was a time where when I would do something good for somebody else, I would tell you about it. So if that's the case, is that really coming from the right place? All right. A lot of times when you're unselfishly giving to others, you don't have to broadcast it. You don't have to let other people know about it, because then you're doing it with the right intentions. And I can assure you that will fill up your cup. That your cup will overflow by just giving back and helping others people succeed. I'm successful because I help others be the best version of themselves. That's one of my affirmations. That's giving back. So on that path of self-improvement, just remember, it's always a journey. It's not a destination. It's okay to take breaks, recharge your batteries, recess your goals, adjust your approach as needed, but be patient. Don't beat yourself up if things don't happen as fast as you'd like. Enjoy the process of becoming the best version of yourself. Right? That's all we're here for. So hopefully that self-improvement, and all it is, boy, how can I improve today? For a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, that will happen if you focus on what we have today. That's the path of self-improvement.